This is the It's Time to Refresh podcast with Brad Refresh, the podcast about life, music, traveling, shit, literal shit that is, and weird and wacky stories with Brad, and a range of guests from the planet Earth. Feel free to share the pod with your pals, your mom, your neighbor's dog, or even your shrink. It's all fun. You can follow our Facebook group called It's Time to Refresh Community, or It's Time to Refresh on Instagram. Write into the pod, ask questions, and share your stories. Enjoy the pod.
Hey kid, what time is that?
It's time to refresh.
Back once again with another podcast. This is episode 12, and we've got Benjamin Leon. How are you doing? All right.
I'm all right, thanks. Not too bad.
How are you doing at the minute? Are you with gigs and that wise? Are you enjoying it?
I'm as busy as I want to be, really. I don't want to do it every weekend. I'm 36 now. I like to go to sleep. I want to spend time with my kids as well.
Absolutely.
Because doing a gig, it's not just 1 hour out of your life, is it? It's a few hours before, and then the next day if you're getting back late.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I like to go and enjoy myself as well, so I don't want to do it every weekend. I'm quite happy with what I've got.
Yeah.
I've got some good ones. Sometimes I'll have a break. I've not done it now since beginning of May, so next week I've got Sopranos and Fat Goose.
That'll be good.
So it'll be like nearly 2 months off. But I've not missed it. I've just had a nice break from it, and
sometimes it's quite refreshing. Like for me, for instance, I can go like a couple of months without having a gig, and it'll be like it's quite refreshing that you get ideas for tunes, and like it doesn't feel as just stale. Do you know what I mean? I love it. I listen to bounce every day, but my thing is if I haven't been to a bounce gig, I sort of get a clear mind of what direction I want to go in with music. Whereas if I walk away and I see that something worked on a dance floor, like I need to do more of that. I need to do. So for instance, with Sanctuary, the Black Box, we'd when John was playing, I've referenced this in another podcast, but John was playing all the sort of like tougher edge stuff by like Ben Nicky and stuff like that. When I turned to you and I said fucking hell, when did that Rhythm of the Night thing?
Was he on before me and Nick?
Yeah.
He played some belters, didn't he? Actually? Yeah.
And I walked away from that night saying I need to do something like that. And then now I've had a bit of clarity. I can sort of assess of what direction I would like to take it in.
See, because I like to have a drink when I go out, so I'd probably have these ideas in the club.
Yeah.
But then I forgot about it. To be fair, I'm quite good at cutting myself off from something, so I've got balance with everything I do. I've got to cut myself off from work, obviously when I leave work. And music, I don't like to hammer my brain with it too much, because I like to do other normal stuff. So I'm quite good at cutting things off, so I feel I feel like balanced.
Yeah.
Because when I was doing it when I was younger, I think it started dying down for me about 2010, and I was glad of not being in it.
Maybe just sort of like oversaturated.
Yeah, when you do it every weekend, you just sort of like it just overpowers you. And now I've sort of like stepped back from it. I found the time and the balance with work.
Yeah.
Hobbies, normal other hobbies, kids obviously now. I enjoy it more.
Yeah.
I appreciate it more, and I'm not bothered if I'm not doing it or I am doing it.
Yeah.
That makes me sound like a dog girl, so I didn't care about it, but I'm quite happy just to balance it out now.
Take it as it comes as well, sort of thing. Yeah,
I mean, I don't get stressed over it too much, like, I'm not getting booked or anything like that. And if someone wants to book me and like it's not right for me, I'm not like, I'll do it, like, type thing. Whereas younger, I was like, I want to do it. All right, you want me to do it cheaper? Yeah, I'll do it cheaper. Like that, it's like, if I'm going out my house tonight, I want it to be, I want my fee and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If not, I'll go to sleep quite happily.
Yeah, it's understandable. It's a good balance to have.
Yeah.
But now we've touched on that, we can sort of go back to the beginning then. So with Bon Lee, where did it all start?
Well, to be fair, like most people have like influences, whereas I used to live in Plymouth.
Right.
I moved up to Darwin when I just turned 15, so I never heard really any much dance music other than being in the charts. I used to like listen to Limp Bizkit and stuff like that. So when I heard the donk, I thought really nobody ever called it the donk when it was just bounce music. I don't even think I'm calling it that then. And my mates used to like listen to it, like old Monroe's and Maxime CDs at the time. And I'm like, wow,
what year's this? I don't know.
Yeah. This when I first heard it was in 2002.
Right.
So,
yeah, right.
Yeah, a long time ago.
But you can imagine the sort of music that was around at the time, sort of thing. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I was like, this is really good. This is like really energetic. So anyway, my mate had a pair of decks, and I used to have a do on them. And there were I think there were about 4 of us. We just all got decks at the same time. We all learnt off each other.
Right.
And we used to share vinyls. I used to find loads of rare ones, but I couldn't afford them all because I was young, obviously.
Yeah.
And we all used to just borrow them off each other.
So was it a popular thing to do to get into DJing at the time, or did you just happen to stumble upon it?
I don't think it was as popular as it is now. Definitely not. But it was just what were close to me.
Yeah.
So,
I found when I was in school that when I went to school there would be a lot of people trading music on the phones, and it was really popular to have a good CD on or a good tune on your phone. I
don't think music were on phones then.
No, obviously, yeah. No, but I mean tape trading or CDs.
Tapes. Yeah, we used to just record tapes, and you heard that tape. It's got blah 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 in it.
Yeah.
And then it'd be taped over.
So was it popular within school and stuff at 15?
Yeah, it were. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it weren't really until I turned about 16 that I started obviously I started meeting people, and you sort of go through groups until you meet the right set of group people. So about 16, I think I were, and I got my first decks end of 2002. So I was 16. I got some Gemini belt drives.
Yeah.
I bought a few records and just tried to mix them. Eventually.
How did it go?
Not so great at first, but I remember I had it was a Monsoon and Dreamworks one, a Pump Records, Everybody Dance.
Yeah.
And the kit on it was right. I just found it easier to mix, so I just used to practice with that one all the time.
Quality.
And I eventually got the hang of it.
Right. So what year is this then? This must be what, 2000?
Going into 2003.
Right.
And then I got some Stanton Straight 30s.
Right.
I think that same year. I think it come with a mixer. That's like a crap thing. The mixer didn't even have a bass thing on
When
it.
you're young and sort of naive to it, it doesn't matter as long as you mix one tune into another. It's fine, isn't it?
Practice, and I used to go on. I used to hammer them. I used to go on all the time. Whereas now I don't touch them.
Yeah.
I don't touch them for weeks. I don't think I've had a mix for about a month.
Yeah.
Probably more. Whereas I was on them every day. Come on from work, you were on them. Just all the time.
Class. So, were you going anywhere sort of underage or out like that?
I went Maxine once, underage.
Was that the place to go in your area? Was it?
Yeah, everyone the older lot were, you'd even them going Maxine's bloody hell, wish I could go there. And I chanced it once, and I was 17. I weren't old looking for my age at all, so I thought, right.
I've seen pictures of you when you were younger, mate.
Yeah, I didn't look. I don't look old now. Well, I might do now. I've got a bit of grey in my beard, but I remember going and I was shitting myself because I thought I'm just gonna get left in Wigan here. And I got in. I couldn't believe it. I had the night of my life. It was great.
Can you remember who was on?
Not a clue.
Not a clue.
I knew it was an all nighter.
Right.
And it would have been 2003, I think.
Right. Did you not recognise any of the MCs or anything?
No, I didn't know that much about it.
Right.
I knew the music, but listening to tapes and stuff, I didn't really listen. Once I'd got me on decks, I was just making tapes and I was listening to it back. I didn't really care about other. I was just focusing on myself.
That's class. So where did you go from there? So you went for your first night out. You got the vinyl collection.
I was searching for vinyls.
Right.
I can't really remember. I was searching for Italian records at the time, and I stumbled upon ItalianDance.co.uk forum.
Right.
And some people were selling records, and as I started browsing the site, I seen a lot of the cricketer DJs come up.
Right.
I thought, all right, well, I could sort of message people here and show them demos and stuff.
Who you are, sort of thing.
Yeah, and just try. I thought, well, it's a way in, innit? Because I didn't have a clue how to get there at all, really.
Yeah. If you're not in with the scene, it can be quite not intimidating as such, but when you can definitely feel how do I get in here? I don't know anybody.
Yeah, well, that's what it was. I just thought I was going to DJ, and who's ever going to be in apart from my mates who I'm giving tapes to. So I think around the same time, I think I sent a tape to Gary Selects. I don't think I'd started my volumes. I sent a tape to Gary Selects, and he was like, "I want you on." I might have meant to been on a Dance Attack first, but because I'd messaged that many different promoters and sent them my demo, a couple of them wanted me on, but they because we're doing one thing, they didn't want me on that. So I ended up doing it for Gary Selects, and I think we weren't 18 at the time, so I was still trying to get. I was just about to turn 18, and I did Meltdown at the Cricketer. March 2004 it were.
Right.
And then after that, I started doing my volumes.
When you went into the Cricketer for the first time underage, how did you feel? How did people approach you?
It were dead.
Oh,
There weren't many people to approach me.
No, I mean like say like the promoters and stuff like that, like.
You know what?
Or the DJs or the MCs who were on.
All the other DJs, the MCs were all accommodating. It weren't. What's the word?
It wasn't like intimidating.
It
or
weren't
anything,
intimidating at all. Everyone were like, oh, "Nice to meet you," blah blah blah. Quite friendly.
At this point, are you DJ Bon Lee?
I was, yeah.
Where did that come from?
This was when about the time I thought, right, I'm sending my demos off here. I need a name. And basically, my name's Ben.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Ben.
Yeah. Hey guys. So my French teacher, at school, he wasn't English. I think he was Albanian.
Yeah.
And he used to say Bon. It was always Bon instead of Ben.
Yeah.
And it just stuck. So I got used to call me Bon.
It's interesting that.
And then I thought, right, bugger it. I'll just call it. I've called myself Bon Lee, and that's where it came from, really.
Honestly, do you know what I thought it was? I thought it was down to somebody else's mistake. I thought you were DJ Ben Lee, and someone's put it on a flyer.
A typo.
And you've sort of kept on it. No.
And it just stuck, and then everyone's called me Bon ever since. Really. Well, people were calling me anyway, my mates. Anyway, and it's stuck pretty much from.
I've always wondered where the name came from. Just out of interest there, but obviously that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's just stuck. He used to argue with us about English. He was like, well, we know he's a bit of a mad teacher, really.
Yeah. So after that Meltdown in 2004, where did you go from there?
Well, starting the volumes. So recorded Bouncy House Volume 1.
Yeah.
Recorded it. My decks were in my bedroom, but I had a computer in back bedroom downstairs. I were in the loft room.
Yeah.
So I took them down. I put them on the single bed. So the decks were on the bed, and I recorded a mix. On Soundforge, and
that's ridiculous, by the way.
It was with vinyls on the bed,
yeah.
It's on SoundCloud, the volume, and it's like there's jumps all the way through it because I were on MSN at the same time, and obviously computers weren't as fast back then.
Yeah.
So there's loads of jumps in it, but I still thought it was.
It is. Yeah. It's a demo,
fine.
isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely fine to put out. But looking back, I wish I just recorded it.
Yeah.
So I did that one. And then obviously a few weeks later I did another one.
Yeah.
And I sent him off to Farrell.
Right.
And he wanted to put me on a sank.
So what number was this then? Was this 3?
1 and 2.
Oh, 1 and 2.
1 and 2 I sent him.
Right.
So yeah, I did that. And then I did the May All-Nighter in 2004.
Sanctuary Cricketer, was it?
Yeah.
Right. How was that?
Oh, they were great. That were great. Like, I think I'd done another night at Crick. I think it was Slam Jam. I think something like that.
Right.
That were good. That were a bit more of a taste. But this one it was like a packed out Crick. I think it were a bank holiday Sunday as well.
Can you remember like sort of who was on and what was going on at the time?
Just the usuals were on. I think that obviously John G. I don't. Oh, it's a long time ago. I can't remember.
But can you remember going in and sort of meeting all the sound clock like?
Yeah, that weren't. It weren't as because it were a lot busier.
Yeah.
Than the first time. It weren't like we were like, oh, he's a blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
It was sort of like I think I spoke to John, obviously Farrell, and I think I'd met Candy before. I was speaking to him quite a lot.
Yeah.
And then it just went from there really.
So what were you doing? Warm up?
I did warm up, yeah. I started off with Daisy D, Headbone Connected.
As a warm up?
Yeah, well, it was like, obviously, inexperience for one.
Yeah.
2, you want to show off your best tunes.
Yeah.
Because obviously with vinyl, everything with vinyl then.
Yeah.
I'd started on the CD decks.
Right.
I did have CD decks, some really crappy ones at home. I wanted to show off all my records, obviously.
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
do, you know what I mean? So I was 18, I was raring to go. and he liked it, so he put me on again. Well, obviously he's still putting me on now, so
Yeah.
he must have liked it.
Must have liked it, yeah. Yeah, that's really good. Like, did you come away feeling that you'd done well for yourself that night? Like, did you come away thinking...
I come away... a lot
right.
of people come up to me and said, "Oh, that was a good set," blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I knew... I mean, you know when you've done a fuck up and you know when you've not done a fuck up, don't you?
Yeah.
So I probably did do a fuck up, but it's hard to remember.
Have you still got the recording?
I used to have it on a CD.
Right.
I was hoping Farrell sent me all USBs, quick USBs. I couldn't find it on there. But I know there is a recording of it, because I used to have the CD.
Right.
But I've lost it over
time, yeah.
You lose things, don't you?
So from there, what happened next?
I think the next time we did Samp were another all night of July. I think got to do 11, 12. Then he had a CD deck. Then it were Pioneer CDJs just come out with it first time he used
The 100 was it?
1000.
Oh, the 1000.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guessed he had one. He brought it down.
Right.
And I had loads of top MP3s, obviously, but people hadn't got.
Yeah.
I was playing some of them, and that went down really well. And it just sort of just like span off from there, really.
So you started with Sanctuary then,
Yeah.
so to say. Like, that's where you sort of started building a name for yourself. How did you find it travelling from... Where were you living at the time? Darwin?
Darwin, yeah.
So you were travelling over to Wigan from Darwin?
Yeah, well, at first, all your mates want to come.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they didn't want to come, so I was just getting trained on my own.
Yeah. I find that now, like,
Yeah.
when I was younger, getting my first gigs... Everyone wanted like people would be arguing for a space in the car, and then now it's like nobody wants to come out with you at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Now we've got like a bit of a core group now that go out. We've always got someone to go out with, but I mean, I used to just I'm going. Whether anyone's coming with me, I need to DJ. I was hungry for it. Like,
That's
I was
good.
getting on the train, get a train to Darwin to Bolton and on to Wigan. And then it was like, how are you going to get home? And I used to end up in people's houses and then get trained next day. But I weren't bothered. I mean,
it's the eagerness, isn't it, of it all?
I remember getting my first wage, like, I think I got 40 quid off Farrell. I think about third or fourth sank. I was absolutely buzzing. I can't believe I'm getting paid to do this.
Yeah, paid to do, paid to have fun in it, yeah.
Oh, it was amazing.
Class. So from there, were you catching people's eye elsewhere as well?
I think... At the same time of doing Crick, I think Farrell were doing nights at 111 in Blackpool.
Yeah.
I think I did... I'm not sure if I did one of them. I know I've definitely done Sank at 111 and all that, but I'm not sure at the time. There was another lad called Robbie Bentham.
Right.
Devotion, remember them nights?
Yeah, I know them.
So he made me resident, so we're doing them.
That's in Blackpool, isn't it?
That was in Blackpool, so sort of doing them at the same time. Parallel to it, really.
Yeah.
And then I just ended up just doing Sank more regularly, really.
Right. So we're at 2005 at this point.
Yeah, 2005, and then 2005, beginning 2005, was the start of Bad Behaviour as well.
Right. This is a whole new thing that I wanted to ask you about. There's so many questions I've got because I don't think the story's ever been told anywhere, has it? Really?
Maybe.
Nothing's been recorded at all, has it?
No, I can't. Well, I imagine not.
So, the beginning of it, how did you meet? Had you met Greenie and Dean,
Greenie
or what?
used to work at Reedy's. Dean were like one of my mates with the decks from back then.
Or was he part of the four?
No, he weren't part of the four, but I think he'd got the other three lads into it, and he sort of like, he must have, I don't know, he weren't a major part of it, he sort of like come into the fold, if you would. And he was making music because he'd done the I Feel Love tune. So like, I want to make a tune with you. So I wanted to remix someday. So I went to his house and me and him remixed someday.
Yeah. And did you know nothing about production at this point?
I knew nothing, absolutely nothing. Obviously Dean did. I just told him
how you wanted it, yeah.
Basically.
Go on.
In a nutshell. So I think we were on the way to Crick. We were at the Bolton train station. He's like, right, you need a name. And he was the Naughty Boys. So I said, right, I've called Bad Behaviour. And that's how the name come about. And then, like, the next week I used to go Reedy's every Friday, buy records, speaking to Greenie, and he was like, I really like this. We should all get together and do it. Yeah. So we did a remix of Someday, which is the other side of it.
Yeah.
The DJ Greenie remix. And then after that, we just used to come together and make tunes.
So what was the, other than Someday, what was the first sort of tune where you all got together?
Frozen was the first one,
Frozen,
which were quite big as well at the time.
It was massive.
We did quite well because the days of selling vinyl as well, so you used to actually make a bit of money off it.
My recollection of it is I got Frozen on a release, and it was on its own on the first one. And then on the second release, I got it in like a double pack vinyl.
Yeah, the one with the pictures.
Yeah, all the pictures.
Yeah, but it's not our version of it. It's Monsoon and Dreamworks.
The Monsoon and Dreamworks, but there's some other of your tunes on there.
Is there?
Yeah.
The vinyl.
Yeah, it's a double-sided one. I'll check it out and get back to you.
I've got it. It's in the loft actually.
Really nice artwork on that, aren't there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with the photos and
the mouldy coffee on one of them.
But so you started making tunes. What was your process? Obviously, you'd done Frozen. Did you go and test it in clubs, or what were you doing? Like, or was it just, this is gonna work?
I think we knew it would work.
Right.
I think we knew if it's the riff in it. I thought, we want to win here. I think that's what we thought in the red.
Yeah.
I think Green we played at Maxine's every week.
And it has been signed at this point.
No, it never got signed.
So where did you get pressed at? Did you just press it independently?
Because Greenie worked at Reedy's, obviously.
Yeah.
We sport to, I think Pete Glennon used to distribute, didn't they?
Yeah.
And there were another guy. We did it through Pete. I'm pretty sure we did it through Pete anyway.
How many copies did you get pressed up originally?
We did 500 at first.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it did 2 rounds of 250. I'm pretty sure it did.
Right.
I think. I can't remember. But I know we definitely got 1 repress on it. I think we might have got a second on it.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to mention is you don't realise how far your early releases get until you start talking to people. I've heard on somebody talking, one of the Australian guys, is it like Nick Nova and Charlie, Charlie Brown and
that's it, yeah.
all them lot, and they were saying that like in Australia they were getting shipments of like bad behaviour stuff in, like selling them there, and it's like,
it's mad
to it's got to the other side of the world, but it's like
the same with the Dinkies. They used to get over here, didn't they? Yeah. So you like the Dinkies. They were the first bounce tunes we heard. That my mates were really into them.
Yeah, but it's strange how far pre-internet. Well, not pre-internet because we had there was like AOL and there was dial-up and everything like that.
Still on AOL email.
But like it's just one of them things where it's like how far a record can travel and like how they talk about, for instance, like having memories listening to some of your tunes or some of like, do you know what I mean? Or we listen to Dinkies and listen to it's just remarkable. Like
it is quite mad now. It's not the same now finding a tune like it was.
No, it's not.
Like, I used to find them on internet and then it'd come and then you get the note through your letterbox. It's too big for your letterbox. You go down to the post office and get a tune.
Class.
That were a big part of it for me.
Yeah.
So when the vinyl started to die out, it was good that I had the production because I used to like playing tunes. I still do like playing tunes that no one else were going to play.
Yeah.
I like to be I play exclusive. Obviously, you've got to play things that people like as well.
Yeah.
But I liked playing something that no one else had because I used to, the ones that no one had, I used to put labels on them, so people couldn't see them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was part of what I tried to do, just play stuff that no one was playing.
It's all part of the old fun, isn't it?
I think I miss that part of it.
The worst you can do now is rename a file. Like if someone comes to look at a deck and it's like,
the thing is though, you rename a file, that everyone's going to have anyway because it's MP3. It's completely different with MP3, isn't it? But that's how technology moves forward, doesn't it?
It is. We don't want to get too much into the vinyl versus thing.
I'm not a dinosaur. Don't worry. I like vinyls, but there's so much more freedom you get now with DJing that it's really to life with hot cues and loops and stuff like that. So I quite enjoy doing that anyway. So I'm happy it's moved on. Right.
So when you did back to Frozen, how did it blow up, or like did it take a while to sort of catch on, or?
Because Greenie did Maxine's, which was like pretty much, other than Pia, I think like he was the biggest club in Mount at the time, where around our way anyway, and he could just go and play it that week. I mean, I were at Sank, but I was still playing at cricket, which is obviously not the biggest reach, but Maxine had a bigger reach. They said he played it and it went down really well. So we knew we were on to winner, really.
I always thought when you get to like divulge into it, I know this isn't the story, but like I always thought this played a major part in making bad behaviour. The way that you had like sort of say like Blackpool and Wigan covered, and then Greenie had like Maxime's and like so you knew for a fact that whatever event was on that night, your tunes were going to be played.
That were a big factor, to be honest with you, because it was sort of like two sides of the scene.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there were probably more, because obviously there were scenes in Liverpool. And
Oh,
stuff
absolutely,
like that.
yeah.
But we sort of like nailed two parts of it.
Yeah, you've got it covered, like very big, very prominent parts at the time.
Especially Sank got once it left cricket, Sank really started to get big, like 2006, 7 when he went to Syndicate and stuff like that.
So you had a good ground to showcase your music, because if you weren't booked for Sank for one event, for instance, Greenie could be played it in Wigan. So
we knew we were always getting the reach. Well, we knew when we made a tune that we can play it out that week.
Yeah.
So you're getting reactions, or I don't think this is going to work, or whatever. You know what I mean? So it were really handy.
So as the ball starts rolling with you, what was the next step? Were you just continuing putting tunes out, or was each tune getting bigger and better reactions, or is there a tune in particular that you thought this is really elevated us?
Doing the Frozen, that being the first tune, put us in a good stead to start with. I'm trying to think what we're after Frozen. I think we had like Time to Burn. They're not really. Some tunes don't stick out. We did The Finest. We remixed that about 3 times. I was absolutely sick of it by the time we did the third time.
Yeah.
And then I think going into 2006, the quality of the tunes, production wise, still when I listen back now, it's not good enough in my eyes now. But still, the tune. The tunes were good enough, if you know what I mean.
I can remember you did a lot of like Donk over stuff as well, where it was like On Your Side.
We did it On Your Side. We did. I can't remember now. We did a few.
Just
Donk
Can't Get Enough. Did you do that?
Yeah. No, Dean did that, I think. But it came out the same camp, didn't it? And they people liked him, so just not. I think that's.
But you can tell you went from. Quality wise, you'd stepped it up a gear, because you were doing these things where you could hear that it was like the ideas were quality, because a lot of people did like it, but at the same time, I don't know whether it was an overnight thing what happened with you, but all of a sudden the production just got so much better, so much quicker as well.
Yeah, things is when you're a producer.
Yeah.
You're learning all the time, aren't you? You're always trying to. You listen to something you made a year ago, and you're like, "Oh, I don't like that."
Yeah, you can always pick things out, can't you? As always.
So you get better. You think, "Oh, I could tighten that up here or whatever." So, we just obviously there were 3 of us as well. As it went on, Greenie knew how to do a bit of it anyway.
Yeah.
He could play guitar and stuff like that. So musically, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm still crap at music. So I was learning obviously how to use the programs, and then you got a bit more influence from all 3 of us, rather than telling someone your idea, doing it yourself sort of thing.
When was the first Bon Lee tune?
April 2006, were it?
But what tune was it?
I did Like a Prayer.
Like a Prayer.
It's crap.
No, but everyone
you know
starts
what?
somewhere.
I did an EP. On Bad Records, I did an EP, and I think I had 4 tunes on it. I think the first. I'm not sure if the first one had Temple of Dreams on it. It might have done.
There's one tune.
No, good time on the first one. I did that one.
What was the dinky style tune you did on the B side? I still like that today. It's like, is it Old School or something like that? It's called.
A Bon Lee one.
Yeah.
I can't think.
I don't know what it was, but honestly, I still listen to it now, and I feel like it maybe doesn't stand up production.
Oh, is it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
It could, I think
yeah.
But it's still a quality tune now.
Well, to be honest with you, it's not my idea at all. I actually stole that and completely remade it. I downloaded a tune. What I used to do is go on SoulSeek, and I used to type in club mix, with the 2 B's and the K, and it used to bring up loads of tunes that no one had, and it was obviously the same riff. It said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in it. but it was I used a different sample of it because obviously I was just cut it up.
Yeah.
And it was produced. It weren't that bad. It probably were actually quite bad, but he couldn't mix it in and out of it. I thought, right, I'm making a
version of it. There,
so I made a version of it. Obviously, no one had heard it.
Yeah.
So everyone thinks it's my tune, where it's not.
Oh well, at least you're honest about it.
No, yeah.
I
mean, we're the same where everyone.
Yeah. Honestly, like
things,
every single tune I do, if you ask me one of my tunes, I'll tell you exactly where I've ripped it off from.
Because that's what you get.
You could call it ripping it off, or you could call it influence. But
I call it influence. That one is a rip off though. It's blatant. I mean, the donk rolls in it, everything's the same.
Yeah, I remember getting that vinyl and thinking, that's different.
Yeah, I think the first EP had Like a Prayer on it, but I don't think I called it Like a Prayer. I called it something else to be different. And I had Good Time. I did a remix of Paran Good Time. That 5 4 3 2 1 and something else maybe I can't remember. The second EP was The Temple of Dreams, which has probably been my what most people come to me and say their favourite tune of mine.
Mine is the of that era, Sweetheart, when you did Sweetheart.
Oh, that was the one actually, the other tune.
Oh, was it?
Sweetheart,
yeah. Sweetheart.
See, I listened to that back to that.
It doesn't sound great now,
but at the time,
definitely.
I think that might have been like my second tune, to be fair.
But I think you had the right idea. Everything's gone. I know it sounds bad and stuff like that saying it, but like it had a repetitive dinking, but the repetitive riff was really good. You could beef it up now, but at the time, it's
because
really
at the time the dinky riffs were just coming into fashion a bit more. Like everyone started to do it because we obviously we weren't the first people to do them, but I think we were.
I think you were
first people over here to start incorporating our tunes more.
I think when it comes to that dinky style of that time, I think there was always you and there was always Fitzy and Rossi B. They were that for me. They created that sound. I know it was a take on sort of Alex Kane dinky.
Yeah, we
But you I think you did your own version of it.
Yeah, we obviously got. That's where I say we didn't rip it on that. We influenced that one.
I did a bootleg about 3 months ago or something. I sent you it, and I was like, "Look at this! I've just ripped off a Bad Behaviour 2006 tune." Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I sent you it. And it's simply just that dinky style riff with a.
It works though. It works. I mean, it's like now. It's like a fallback now. Like I think, I can't get anything to work. I'll just whack a dinky in it.
Yeah.
I don't like doing it, but sometimes tunes need it anyway. They suit it better.
Absolutely. So you started releasing and getting sort of traction there. I seen yesterday you posted online about doing the Delusion, Never Gonna Let You Go. Was that was the first contracted remix you got?
Yeah, well, it's obviously Greenie worked with Jamie Agor at Maxime's.
Yeah.
Obviously, seen that we were doing bits. He had the singer in Jenna.
Yeah.
So he said, "Do you want to do this?"
It's good vocal as well. Yeah.
So we did the Donk one first, and then we did a Scousey one, which we practically basically just took the Donk out and put a Scouse bass line.
Yeah.
And that was the original, meant to be original mix, but it was always the Donk one that got played. Well, as far as I know, anyway.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone play the other one.
No, I've never heard it played. It's always just been that version.
Yeah.
So then, was that like another level up for you?
Yeah, I feel like that was probably went up a step there. I think we did the See the Light remix around the same time. I think it was like summer 2006.
Who did someone get onto you from all around the world or something to do that, or was that
See the Light? With Greenie working it all around the world.
Yeah.
He could under all around the world because underneath it he had ties where he could get pellers and stuff like that. I think with See the Light, I think KB did it first.
Yeah.
We remixed them, and then I think they remixed something back. Maybe that sort of deal. I can't remember. I can't remember. I know it went on their label. That.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago now to remember how it probably happened, but it's something along them. But we got a few decent. We got Q-Tex Power of Love.
Power, that tune is quality.
They let us release that on Bad Records as well.
Yeah.
I think there were a couple we got. They let us release it, which were pretty sound, really, innit? Because they didn't ask for any money. They didn't ask for any money off it, not to my knowledge, anyway.
Yeah.
But
so at this point now, I think this is probably when I heard of you, like when you started doing these style tracks, and it was sort of getting pushed out like that because it was reaching up my area at that point, and obviously you came up a couple of times and you had to work into. Did you do Fusion? Did you?
I think I've done Fusion, but I didn't do Fusion until later on. I don't think Sank used to do Fusion when I first started there, but I don't think I were involved in the ones around that time.
Yeah.
I did Carlisle a few times. Going in 2005-6, I did Carlisle quite a few times, so that's obviously near to you, innit? I can't remember the first time I did Fusion. I know I've done it.
Yeah.
I've definitely done it. I've done it a few times. It was a really nice club, Fusion, to be fair.
Massive, yeah, I love it. Class.
Yeah.
It's a shame it's gone, but it is what it is.
Yeah, well, I remember the first time I went there, I ended up in the police cells all night.
It's just next door.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've been in police cells all night for I was a bit too smashed.
Class. So we at this point, I know the sort of bad behaviour things took off, and then you've got a lot of, I would say, big tunes out there. Probably some of the biggest in the scene at the time, arguably. Were you just going out as like bad behaviour now? Were you not like at this point? Were you getting booked as?
Yeah, I think the first one we were off Farrell. We got 111.
Right.
That were 2005. That pretty much not so long after we started. That was like summer 2005, I think that.
Yeah.
And we did a promo CD for it, and we gave out loads of CDs that night.
Was it with just bad stuff on, or was it all sorts?
I think it had a bit of. I think it had some other people's tunes on.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd done enough tunes at the time for a.
But it had your
CD.
tunes on.
It had a sticker on it. It said "Bad Behaviour." The sticker's actually on my record box. In Loft, I've still got the sticker. I've stuck it to my record box. And then we were getting booked, and I think around 2006, I think we started getting gigs up in Newcastle.
Right.
So we'd get quite a few of them.
Yeah.
And then going into 2006, going to 2007, that's where it started getting
really big.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's Bounce Heaven, isn't it? That was 2007.
Yeah, September 2007, I think, if I remember rightly.
Right.
That was the first one.
So for me, this is where I thought this is just my opinion. It can be. Do you know what I mean? I don't want it to come across as like everyone thought this, or everyone didn't think this. But for me, bad behaviour getting put on there, that sort of like stamped you as headliners at that point.
Yeah, that was it was a big one, that, to be on.
Yeah. Like that moved you up from like Bonley, Greeny, D&M. That was like, this is bad behaviour, and
that's separate. Separate like type thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the impression I got.
I think we practically did every Bounce Heaven.
Yeah.
Maybe not the very latter ones, but like we were always. I think they always had a decent time on it.
Yeah. Did you find that elevated you much? Because I think it had like a good commercial reach. I think.
Yeah, it's hard to think now looking back, because you sort of like live in the moment, don't you?
Yeah.
So you just like, it just seemed to get bigger all the time.
Yeah.
Until it like obviously plateaus, but that were pretty big with that. And I think around the same time as we started going up Newcastle and Sunderland, up at that North East quite a lot. I think we were doing that like once a month. And the same that we, even not as bad behaviour, I get booked on my own to go up. Green, you get booked to go up, on his own to go up.
Makes the lineups look fresh as well, doesn't it? Like,
but you're still getting. Obviously, there is a difference in sets, but you're getting the main bad tunes, aren't you? If you book as either as a solo act or not as not. Just for cheaper.
Yeah, but so you're doing this, and then obviously Bounce. What else happened in 2007? Sort of.
We started doing the Ministry remixes 2007, I think, as well. I think we started getting them before Bounce Heaven. I think we got the Creeps first.
How did that come about? Did we use reaching out, or did someone come to you?
Someone come to us about that. I think someone emailed Dean or Green, not me. I know they didn't email me.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember, but I know we started doing them, and that we were getting like a remix a month off them.
Yeah,
we used to do loads.
I
that as well. I think doing the Ministry remixes.
Yeah, they've got a massive reach as well.
It's.
I know. I want to ask you this because when I was growing up, and I discovered like electronic music and that, I always thought I wanted to be in a band, and I thought, sort of maybe play the keyboard or something like that, or something along them lines.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a camaraderie thing.
I started off playing the drums when I was about 12 years.
Yeah, but like I always thought I wanted to do something like that, and then like I find it quite admirable that you just got together to do the tunes, because I was just thinking like in school I was thought about starting a band with my mates, but it's like you couldn't dedicate the like no one could dedicate a certain time. It was like, so we'll do it on a Thursday at this time and we'll get together, we'll practice.
Yeah,
or
well, we
something like
did
that.
have dedicated. I think it was Tuesday. I think we used to do a Tuesday and Thursday.
That's what I mean. I find it quite admirable that you got together to do tunes.
Yeah, we had set days.
Yeah.
It might. I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday and Thursday. It might have been Tuesday and Wednesday. But I don't know.
Right.
We definitely had 2 days a week.
Right,
But
and what,
obviously
and
we
you
did
just
work
got all
all
together
day,
and write a tune.
Yeah, we're just.
Yeah.
Getting,
See, I love that. I know it sounds cheesy because you're not a boy band as such, but you've got that band mentality of like, right, well, if we're all taking it seriously, we're all going to do this.
Yeah, because we all had day jobs, so it was quite easy to work around. We just finding some nights that we could and couldn't do.
Yeah.
I mean, now it'd be hard. Now we've got kids like to.
Yeah, it's a different ball game now, isn't it?
You've got other commitments, but now it was back then. It was a bit more simple to.
Life's simpler when as well. Like if I moved out of my like childhood house early, like with my that I lived with my mum. I moved out when I was 16. I was just like down to like circumstance, but up until 16, I never had a care in the world. Didn't have to pay for rent. I didn't have any kids. So like, if you wanted to do something, like I was on my decks every single day, and it's like you had to think do it. For me now, if I have a mix, or if I'm even to the extent of editing this podcast or producing a tune, I have to like sort of like squeeze times in to make a tune, and it's adulting, isn't it? That's what it is. You're an adult.
That's it. Now me and Greenie do a Tuesday night most weeks, but even then sometimes I don't want to do it, or if it's summer sometimes, it's nice today, well, let's go and enjoy the sun type thing. We managed to squeeze that one night in, but like sometimes we've got video stuff to do. I'm like, I can't really bother doing it tonight. If I don't do it tonight, it's going to be like next week before I do it. So you just sometimes it's going to get on with it, aren't you?
One thing for me is I've never been a raver, so I never like used to go out. I used to go to clubs and stuff, and like I'd show my face and stuff like that, but I never go out all night. So for me, sometimes I used to go out to the club and I'd come home and sit and produce. So like even now, sometimes I still do that. And like for me, like I think I'm well. Do you know when you said, "Oh, I've got this video stuff to do"? I think I've got myself from a young age into a routine where I need to do this, and it's like it's not like it's like going to work. I know it's not work to me. It is a passion.
I know what you mean.
Like for this, for instance, I'm going to record this today, and I'll go home and I'll be like, right, this is my work hour to do this, and then like when my little lad's in bed and whatnot, and then I'll be like, right, I'll smash that out, and that's that done. It's like a work ethic type thing. Whereas I know I've got that, and for me, if I had a band, I'd need somebody with the same level of enthusiasm, because if not, I'd sit there.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think like as time went on, I think as it got to the latter stage, where like not that we got fed up of it or fed up of each other, it was just
it can become repetitive.
Someone like getting in a relationship, like I can't do them days, I want to go see my girlfriend, or
you
know what I mean?
It's life,
and then it's like finding the days, and it sort of like peters out sometimes, doesn't it? But yeah, you need to be all on the same level, else it won't work. Which we all were. We were all on the same level. We always to enjoy doing it.
Absolutely.
And it was very rare that we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
We didn't miss a day, unless someone were on holiday.
So
and even then, I think I stayed in Magaluf for a month, 2008, and they still did it.
Yeah.
Just obviously without me. Yeah. So I just carried on.
So when you were doing this, were you doing a tune a week, like on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, or what were you doing? What was the sort of turnaround?
I used to bang out a tune. I'd say about 2 weeks. I'd say some more
quicker than others. Yeah. Some always do drop together quicker than others. A bit more drawn out.
And then obviously as it got a bit more bigger, we started doing more remixes for Ministry, and they paid quite well.
Yeah.
So it was like, right, do we really need to work? Obviously we're getting DJ gigs, so we all quit our jobs.
Yeah.
And then we were doing the album for Ministry Sound. We did the Put Your Hands Up 4 bonus disc, and we worked hard on that. And then that did get a bit like we were working, but you were sort of running out of ideas when you're doing it all the time.
Oh yeah, you burn out. Yeah.
That's it, innit? You like, so I think when we were doing that album, it were harder to bash out the tunes.
Yeah.
Because it were like we were working every day as if it was a job.
Some
sort of
people
makes it harder, doesn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people in today's day and age who've got a day job and they're like, if I could do this full time, I'd do that. It changes the perception of everything.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it becomes more of a chore then rather than something you enjoy. It's I've got to get this tune out rather than I've got this idea. I'm buzzing tonight. I'm gonna get this down or whatever.
Yeah. So what year did you quit your job?
2008.
2008.
Can't remember. It would have been like late spring, I reckon, like April, May time.
And then how long was it the dream for? Like how long were you?
I was out of work till 2010. So I did 2 years, but I'd say probably. I think what we've been doing with the Ministry of Sound remix money.
Yeah.
We didn't touch it. We sort of put it in we started a business account.
Yeah.
So we sort of got a bit of capital in that, and we started paying ourselves a tiny wage, not loads. Lived off the DJ money, and we just obviously still getting remixes, still did the albums and that album, and I think it went on till about the September. I think we did the Bounce Heaven album a year later.
Yeah.
So we boshed that out, and then after that, sort of Bounce started like cooling down a lot, didn't it?
Yeah, the recession hit as well,
yeah,
so a lot of clubs.
It sort of like started dying off a bit.
Yeah.
And so then I went back to work.
Right.
Luckily, my old job took me back.
Well, that's good.
So I was engineering as well, so it's not a bad job to have.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. But like you sort of lived the dream for a while.
Yeah,
sort of
it was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but I'd rather DJ every weekend and work than just DJ every weekend, because then obviously there's a certain lifestyle to it, and when don't have to go to work on a Monday, you get carried away with that lifestyle as well, can't you?
Yeah. Well, I found that when we were in the pandemic, and I did roll out a lot of tunes myself. But I found it was hard to discipline yourself more, because you weren't having the grind of 9 to 5. You were so you just get up and just like you find yourself lying in longer, or you'd like there was. If I was living the dream, I think you maybe take advantage of it a bit too much, maybe, or indulge too much.
Yeah, we probably did. Well, I did indulge sometimes a bit too much. But I enjoy myself. So,
it's memories.
I enjoy myself. I've not got any regrets about it or anything like that. I probably should have got a job back into work a bit quicker, but all well that ends well, innit?
Yeah.
So no one died.
So how did you find? So when you got asked to do the Bounce Heaven album, like, did you think, this could be big, or like? Or...
At the time, it was sold to us like it's going to be big, and I imagine in AJ's head it were going to be as big as he said it were.
Yeah.
He said it were going to go in all shops, adverts and stuff like that. So we were well on board with it. Straight away, we worked hard. Cause obviously, I think we got to do about 20 tracks for it. I think some of them. I think we had a couple of solo ones on there each as well.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you're all there crafting away.
We were all part of the same camp at the end of the day, weren't we? So
were you all producing in the same studio, or did you were you doing it at your home setups?
I think from 2007, 2008, I lived with Dean. I've rented out his other bedroom, so I was using his computer for it. And I think by the time we were finishing that album off, I think I moved back in with my dad, and I bought myself my own computer. So I think Greenie had his own. Dean
and
had
you're just putting ideas together.
This tower here is. I bought this. Me, Greenie, and Dean bought that in 2006.
Fucking hell.
So it's like, I took it when Dean upgraded his computer. I took the tower. Obviously, it's got all new parts in it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
mental.
That's a bit of
that's class. Bad history right there.
Yeah, but there we are. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. So 2010 hit. You got back into work. How were you finding the scene? Because it sort of dipped at the start.
Dipped down, and as well, like I think I was a bit burnt out. Burnt out from it. I was sort of like ready to grow up a tiny bit. Maybe.
Yeah. Everyone goes through that.
I think
stage,
2010. I was 24.
Yeah.
It started dying down. I lost my residency at Sank. Because he weren't doing as well. He wanted to switch things up, which obviously it's one of them things. I still got Sank bookings like.
Yeah.
it sort of like fizzled. I started doing Sopranos actually. Sopranos started coming about through when it's
2010.
Yeah, and then like 2011.
Was that the original Sopranos bar?
I did a guest booking there, but I think you got what's it called? Cellar Bar, Warehouse One.
Yeah, Warehouse One.
In Blackburn. They were doing them quite a lot. As that got a bit bigger, so obviously, really big now. Sops, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then I met Shiv at 2011. I sort of like just mellowed out, and I weren't bothered about it.
You did disappear for a while, didn't you? Like for a short time.
Yeah, I was just not done with it. I just didn't put the effort in.
I can
You
remember.
have to stay relevant to be relevant, don't you?
Yeah.
And I wasn't putting the effort in to do it.
I don't know if you can remember this or not. Obviously, I was messaging you as a bit of a nobody back then. But I messaged just saying like, when are you gonna do some new stuff and like and.
I had a few people message me.
Yeah, and it was like. Where's Bond gone, sort of thing?
Yeah,
like,
I couldn't be bothered. I was quite happily like going to sleep every weekend.
Yeah.
And just I got my head in work and stuff like that. And obviously then I had a child. I sort of just like I don't think I drunk much for about 3-4 years. I just stayed in quite a lot, but I was happy to do that at the time.
Yeah. I want to ask you before we get too far into it as well. I want to step back a little bit. I want to ask you about the documentary with that. So obviously there's a few lads who appeared on it. There was Finchy, Grimesy, Greeny, yourself. Obviously Blackout were on it. This guy did he?
Yeah, I think he approached Greeny on it.
Right.
And I think me and Greeny were doing a tune that day. Because he had it in his mum's, he had his computer in his mum's house in his bedroom, and I was just going up to do the music that day, and they said, "Oh, we want to interview." I said, "I don't think I really said much, to be honest with you, on it." I sort of was nodding my head on it. But it was sort of put to us like, "Oh, we're going to make Bounce look really good," and it was
quite the opposite, wasn't it?
Complete opposite. They made us all look like fools, really, didn't they?
Yeah, they took the piss massively out of it.
Yeah, it was bad because obviously, I think. In parts, bounce music, as the music were growing, but there was that scally side to it.
Yeah.
Sort of like held it back, and they just amplified that scally side of it rather than amplifying the really good bits about it. Obviously, the music.
The thing that really bothered me the most about it all, like you could, I have no issues. By the way, anyone watching, I have no issues with like how bounce is associated with chavs and stuff like that. Like no issues with that. But the thing that really got to me about it was they interviewed Grimesy, and they were trying to ask him questions, and it was just like you could tell maybe a bit uncomfortable because some of the stuff he was asking, and then they start videoing Burnley saying it was a fucking shithole, and I'm just like. This is not about the music at all, is it?
Yeah, obviously them videoing it is that we didn't know about that.
Yeah, so obviously until afterwards, yeah. So
yeah, we got ad off on that big time.
Yeah,
which probably
did you think that affected the scene?
It could have done because that was like 2009, and it was sort of like started.
It had a lot of views as well. Like I had people who I was still in school at this time, and I had people sharing this in like the libraries and shit like that, saying this is his donk stuff you listen to, isn't it? I was like, yeah, and it's like, look at the state of this. Like,
yeah,
and then
they did Blackout as well. Didn't
people got them because I remember going. This is another little tangent I'm going off on, but I remember going into school in year 7, and everyone was clearly separated. So when I remember going in, I remember school feeling larger than life when you walked in, and I always remember walking in, and right in the middle of the playground there was all the rugby and football boys, and then to the left you go in and it would be all the goths and moshes, and then you go to the sort of back of the playground and we called it the fag house, so like where you go for a fag, and you go over there and all the donk and that would be blasting out, and like there was a really popular culture around it. And I remember when that came out, I think I was in year 9 in school when that came out, and I just remember like it became uncool to listen to donk at that point. I was still listening to it, but like people used to walk past me because I think in school I was always well known for like a big fan of. I used to always have all the Crick CDs and everything like that. So people would come to me and like. I've heard this. I've got this on my phone and Bluetooth. Can you tell me where the full CD is? Could be like one track off the CD. Like I'd sort of know it a bit of a fucking boffin.
I used to be like, if someone wants to know the name of a tune, they usually often used to come to me.
So at that point, people who knew because I built a little bit of a reputation for knowing the names of the tunes and stuff like that. people will come to me, just go donk donk, and like or stupid shit like that. Like
Yeah,
it was
I can
all
imagine.
in jest, but at that point it was embarrassing.
Yeah, a lot of my mates when they used to come when I first started. Like, I still speak to some of them. But I went to a barbecue last year at his house.
Yeah.
And he's got Dexys into drum and bass now. And me and Greeny were playing Donk, and it was just like looked of like, oh, you still listen to Donk, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
Like if you're not grown out of Donk, it's like don't grow out something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a passion for.
It didn't help. Like you could never grow out of it now, and it's fact because you were so prominent in the scene. You'll always get people pulling you back in.
Yeah.
So like, if you's left now, I know this sounds a bit of a reach, what I'm going to say, but like, if you's left now, there'll be a want for yous in 5 years down the line, and there'll be promoters saying, "Listen, we'll pay you big bucks to come back," and it was like stuff you can't refuse.
Yeah.
You see it with artists now. So like, if you're into like Motown music or if you're into like ska, you see all these people who grew up and had kids, and then now they're in the 50s. All these bands are coming back because it's the right time and place. So no one can take the piss out of you because you just conquered that sound.
I'm not bothered if someone wants to take the piss out of me. I've been quite successful with it. I've had been on an album in the charts. So, you know what I mean? It's more than you've achieved in music. So I'm not really that bothered about it.
But that's what I just wanted to. I really wanted to know about that. From somebody who was in the documentary, because when this guy come to you, was he a nice guy?
Oh yeah, they were sound. They were sound.
No, like they come across as alright.
Perceived themselves to be sound. Yeah. They were not. You did not. I did not see it as they were taking the piss out of us. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Not at all. I just thought they were asking. I thought they were going to make it help us push it, because obviously that's what I know that. A lot of the people that are Bounce Heaven that were obviously on Rob and John and everything, we all like really wanted to push the music as far as we could get it, really.
Yeah.
So we've seen it as an opportunity to do that, and I had the obviously complete opposite effect. Yeah. Unfortunately.
But did you have no inkling at what was going on?
No, not a clue. Not until it come out.
Really?
Honestly,
I can see why, because a lot of the things that when they talk to you directly, even when they talk to say Finchy or who was it they talked to, and I was just like, oh, they have no clue.
They did Blackout, didn't they?
It was it was when they were going to get clothes.
They did the clothes.
Yeah, they went to go and get clothes, and like and I was just thinking looking at it in retrospect, you can see what's going on. But at the time, these were just like trying to help this guy fit in.
Yeah.
That's
it.
It's quite uncomforting to watch, knowing that it's just a bit of a piss take.
Yeah, the pants down really, didn't they?
But you had no clue whatsoever. Is that
not a clue, mate.
Oh. Did you ever hear back from them after it got released, or?
I don't think so.
No. I'm just thinking like if there was any backlash off the back of it, or.
I can't remember. I don't remember him being not from me anyway.
Yeah.
I know that. We all weren't happy about it. That's about it, really.
He was.
That's all I can remember. Anyway, it's one of them things is just like try and forget about, really, don't you?
Yeah. I wanted to move on in that. So you got to like 2011, 2012. We'll quickly get through this, and then we'll get on to the second section. You started playing for Sopranos. I wanted to ask, did you see? I'd rather you answer honestly. If you think you did, I think you didn't. Did you see that Sopranos was going to blow up into something when you first played for them? Or was it just another donk night at that point?
Not at the time. It was just like obviously started off in a bar.
Yeah.
And he always used to be going to come down and do a set for us. So obviously I did one. And then when I left Sang, I think I did Overdose. I think I did a couple of overdoses for it as a resident.
What was that, medicine?
Medicine, but be honest, I'm not really suited to the medicine vibe. Don't get me wrong, I like the harder style, but I'm not associated with it, am I?
I can honestly say in my life I probably won't get booked for anything like that because it's
I've done medicine a few times and obviously played to their style. But for me, I think it's at the time Bounce was just weren't pulling the numbers in as well. So I think I did Sopranos and it started at Warehouse 1 and we're doing that every time he had it on. But I think that was a bit of a shining light in the scene as it was dying off.
Yeah.
The Sopranos sort of coming up at the same time. Yeah.
So
I mean, it went well, obviously, but the scene were changing then as well. The way everything did, like before, it was like you were DJing, there were flyers, posters, and you go there. Obviously, social media, it were hyping it up on social media. And now we were old school at the time. It was like I'm not sharing stuff on Facebook.
I always thought that what Mikey did with Flex really.
Actually, I was speaking to someone about that the other day actually, and I was saying them videos really. I think that really helped make it look a lot better.
Give
it a bit of that.
You were proud to play there, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it also, especially after that documentary, what had been on videos.
Yeah.
It showed the other side of it as well. Obviously, not the interview side of it. You know,
it advertised it in a good light. Didn't
it was filmed how it was meant to be filmed.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it made it look good, and they did look good.
Yeah. So, do you know when it got to the sort of beginning of the Warehouse 1 days, could you tell at this point that the momentum, like they were going to be a big player in the game?
Yeah, you could tell it got bigger every time.
Yeah. Because I think that's when I first heard Sopranos, it was 2012, and it was Sopranos Fluids. I always knew Fluids as a thing.
Yeah, with that, we're at it would have been what it's called, Mode now.
It's at Mode now, yeah. It was
that would have been a fusion back then, actually.
Yeah, it was a fusion. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably did it. I think I probably did it actually. To be fair,
you were on it, yeah. I've got the CD packer, so
I were on it. Yeah,
I remember it. But like, and that was when I seen it. I knew that Sopranos was a bit different because I seen it and I was like, that flyer looks clean as fuck.
Yeah, you did everything right, to be fair.
That was I think that was Mikey as well. I think who'd done that flyer.
Yeah.
And then I seen the after movies and I was like, I want to go with you.
Yeah, that's it. You do.
For me, I was like, I grew up on like sort of Sanctuary and stuff like that. And I remember seeing you on one of the videos for the Sanctuary All Stars video where you were in Syndicate and it was Whitby was on, there was you on, John G. It's just like a compilation video that's on.
Oh yeah, I can't remember it.
Right, but yeah, and I seen that and I thought, I need to get to a Sanctuary. That was how I got into it.
The videos have really helped it because obviously you see it. It's one thing hearing it, but then when you see the atmosphere and all that,
you feel it.
If you get any videos from like 2004, 2005, 2006, whatever, the quality doesn't look great.
Do anything for it,
now you've got the mobile phone, you can film it on a mobile phone, it looks pretty decent, but obviously proper cameras, it looks the part, doesn't it?
And then I think 2012 I sort of got into the scene outside of Cumbria because it was always Sank coming up to Cumbria, you see, for us.
I used to still I used to do a lot of
the
them.
Quality. When you done Carlisle, what was it? Terminal 1 and stuff like that. Was it? The Melting Pot.
I did the Melting Pot. It's been is that the one that's been a few different?
Yeah.
But that was Excess. Has it been Excess?
Excess, yeah.
I used to do Excess. It's called Black Box now. What it used to be called is that one.
Black Box.
It used to be called something else, didn't it?
I can remember.
I did that back 2011.
Yeah.
I didn't realise until I walked in there with a month. I'm sure I've been here. Quite a few up there.
I just was like, that's a fucking Belton venue, that, innit? I love that.
Yeah, I love the low roof and that.
Low roof, and then
everyone's right in front of you.
By 3 o'clock in the morning, you can see the water on the ceiling.
I like places like it's like a bit of a throwback in it.
Yeah. It's like I say, when we seen sort of John play them tunes, and then when the drops were coming in and the crowd would just fucking right into it. I love that. Yeah, it's really intimate as well. It's like
they're right. I like that. I like the crowd near you because
they can physically touch you from the decks as well.
Because if they see you or you're buzzing on the decks and that close to you, you're interacting with them more. I think that gives a bit of a better buzz to the crowd. I like
that. So we've sort of moved on with that now. So we were at 2012, you came back and you did Someday 2012.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we did a Bound 7 because I think we'd.
It was the Ascension, was it? Was not the Ascension? The Cumulation, the one with the thing that bus outside.
Radcliffe football stadium.
Yeah, right. I remember seeing Greeny put something online saying sort of bad behaviour. We're in the studio working on something.
Yeah, because I think we did. We did the old "We're not doing bounce anymore" bad behaviour. Did the last ever set.
Yeah.
Obviously in bounce, if someone does the last ever set.
Where was that at?
I think we did it in Bolton. It were about 7. I think I can't remember the name of the club. In Bolton, I remember doing it.
Yeah.
That would have been 2010. definitely 2010. Yeah, it was summer 2010. It was. I think it was Greedy's birthday actually.
Right.
So we did that with the last ever set, and it were until then. Obviously, AJ's done this bounce 7. He had it in the bus, didn't it? There's, it was in the bus. The decks were in the bus.
I found that was a turning point. That event in particular was a big turning point for bounce. I'm not saying it was a big event as such, but if you look back on who attended that event, you see all the new generation producers come through.
Yeah.
I remember seeing photos on the day of like I seen yous lot when yous were playing, but I seen sort of like Ash Mirrelson and Luke Hudson and all that, and all them guys were coming through with the sort of their style, and that was when I think sort of like Kenty and that had started doing their bits and started to do that.
Accelerators started just getting going.
Yeah, and I thought that like that was when the turning point for bounce, when it was like, you know what, he could come back here. There's some people.
Yeah, because it weren't a great turnout, that event, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
I do. I remember that. I remember the day. The day I found out Shiv was pregnant with Ollie that day. Yeah, it were. I remember the day well. I remember played the Sunday.
Yeah.
I remember a few people being disappointed in it.
I was going to ask you about that. It's quite a controversial one because I liked it. It's not something I would play, but I thought, oh, that's different.
Well, we tried to do something different.
It was very Jack and House inspired.
Yeah, well, obviously Greenie and Dean had started to do the fresh.
Yeah.
I tried mixing it. I tried making a track. I just thought, it's not for me. This. I need a bit more energy and a bit more speed for me out. So we did that, and I think everyone expected a brand new Bad Behaviour old style donk track.
Yeah.
And we thought we don't want to do that. We don't want to do something we can just.
It was for me. It was like I was just like, oh, I wasn't expecting.
Yeah,
that.
it was a bit different. Probably if we'd done that 5 years later, it might have got a bit of a better reaction.
Did you feel? Can you remember like feeling disheartened about it? Because I think it did get a really not great.
Yeah, I don't ever really feel disheartened because I think at the time, it was just a one-off thing.
Yeah.
Maybe if it had gone off, maybe we might not
come back.
Maybe who knows. I can't really remember, but I don't think I've never really thought about it too much, to be honest with you. I remember a few people saying, oh, one, why have you remixed one you've already done? Yeah. And two, like, well, they were expecting the old dinkies and donks and stuff like that.
It was quite the opposite, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'd wanted to do something different. I really liked it because it were different. I like doing something different. You know, I think it was well made for its time as well.
It was,
but you try something different. Everyone always screams out, "Oh, it needs a bit of difference in the scene," and then when you go and do it, no, I don't really like it.
Mate, I get frustrated with this so much because you try and do something and it's just like no one's going to support it because it doesn't sound like. It doesn't sound like what they're expecting. And
this is the thing. It's like people say, "Oh, they want more original tracks." You do original tracks, and nobody really likes them. It's like, well, you just people want to hear the things they know. Yeah, which is good to a certain extent, but you do obviously need that originality. I think that's what it probably does need to get to the next level. But you need people to then like it because we did a few for the Bounce Evan album, a few original ones. And
I was always a massive fan. Is it that one you did with the vocalist Tony? Is it
Tony Leon?
Say Goodbye.
If it's Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I always like that one.
I love that tune.
That was like, for the Ministry album. I really like that one as well, but that didn't really take off.
Yeah, but honestly, I remember hearing it. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I like the. Yeah, I'd like that one. One of my favourite ones off the album that we did, to be fair. But like I said, they don't take off the same. Yeah, it's strange. You need everyone to be playing it all the time because I think when you hear new tunes and it's not a remix or whatever, then they need to get in your head to know them, don't they? If someone's heard it on the radio all week and they hear the bounce version, it's more, oh yeah, I know this tune, I like it. Yeah, it's because a tune will get hammered on like, I know I'm referencing one of your tracks, like, but did you do one last year, that Summer in '91 tune, was it? Me, Shiv and RJ did it.
Yeah. So you just did that. And like, I knew as soon as I heard it was going to do well because I'd heard it. I heard the original 20 times on Radio 1 that day.
A big tune in the charts. It's a no-brainer to do it.
But I just
when me and Greenie do it, we try to stay away from that. We try and do tunes and think outside the box and no one's remixed before. Which obviously then don't always work out how we
It's
want
hard to get a balance, isn't it?
Yeah, but you don't want to be doing something that everyone else is doing all the time. You want to be different, don't you?
Yeah. You see a lot of people now, and I've talked about this on previous podcasts as well, who get a lot of success off the back of remixing known tunes. It's like, oh, they're class. It's because so much familiarity with it, and it's like it can be frustrating at times.
I think
and it's like,
probably one of the best things to do sometimes is maybe do a couple of them
and
get your name known, and then do that.
Yeah.
But like in our heads, we've already done that.
Yeah.
So we want to do things we like to do.
Yeah.
We don't want to remix loads of pop tunes. We've done it. We've done that. Not against anything that we're doing. I play loads of them remixes.
Absolutely, because it goes off in a club. I understand that.
I like to do like the same thing as like playing things that people aren't playing. I like to make things that people aren't making as well. It's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Variation.
Absolutely. So we've got lost in the thing there, but I just want to say, moving on, in like 2014, 2015 sort of come along. You were sort of not massively involved at that point.
Yeah, but there's anything to report unless you know what I had for my tea.
2016, I think. Did I get you up in 2016? I
did a Mad Friday, didn't I? I think 2015 or 14. I think I might have made a couple of tunes. Somebody come to me like, right, make a couple of tunes. I want to put them out on my label. I think it was Revolution Records. It might have been.
Right.
And he was like, right, I'll give you X amount of money. I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So I did a remix of Making My Monsoon and Dreamworks, and there was another one. It was a chart tune. Oh, I Want to Feel. The piano, ding 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 ding. Something like that. Yeah, so I did that, and I probably could have moved forward than that, but I mean, I were under the stairs and look under the stairs, covered with my computer and that. I just weren't that bothered about it. I don't think. I think I would do on shifts as well at times, so I was just tired all the time.
This is where I started to get to know you a bit as well. Go talk. I can remember you literally saying to me you were under the stairs when you were producing a tune. I think you sent me over like a couple of draft copies or something like that, asking your opinion or whatever. And then I asked you to come up in the Mad Friday. The event, it wasn't great. It was all right from what I remember. There was
was it at the attic? Or basemental.
That was my event. That one.
I do remember it. Yeah.
It was in GL3. It was
GL3. That's it. I remember the name basemental.
That was a little thing I had running for a while. Just to sort of get me going, and it's one of the things, most stressful thing you ever do, isn't it? Just running a night.
I've done it once. I did a charity night for cancer, Strictly Vinyl.
Yeah, I remember that.
2012. It just annoyed the fuck out of me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It really, I just thought, this is not for me. I want to turn up and do my gig and go home.
That was a fucking unbelievable lineup as well.
It were a good night, to be honest with you. It just stressed me out as well. I was doing it with someone else, and the ideas are different. It's just like, I can't do my head in. Yeah. It's not for me, that. Because obviously you got the stress of it during the week. Whereas now it's like promote a gig on Facebook, you share a link and share a poster. It's not hard, but when you know that it's down to you to get them people in, you don't want it to look crap.
Frustrating, yeah.
No, not for me. I'll stick to DJing. Thanks.
I remember you came up and I was wanting like sort of like a bad like record set, and it was like you played a good set. Like
I think I remember doing. I just played loads of bad ones. I think did you not actually want a tune off? I mean, I didn't have it. I think it were...
you wanted a tune off me, of yours.
Yeah, because you wanted me to play it.
Yeah.
And I didn't have it.
It was Top Loader, Your Love.
Yeah. Top Models.
And I was like...
Top Models.
Top Models, sorry, yeah. Top Models, Your Love.
Well, I don't have it.
And I was like, play this, and you're like, I don't have it. I was like, okay, well, I've got it. I'll send you it.
Send it to me. I've got it on my computer now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Quality tune. It's like, I don't know why I like it so much.
I liked that one, to be honest with you. It's just like, it's cheesy, like, but it's good, isn't it?
And then... sort of moved into 2017, you started getting back into it, right?
So back into 2017, I sort of like, Ollie would get a bit older, a bit more time, and I was like, you know what, I was still like messing around on deck, still like mixing. So I did get the odd gig, sometimes like one or two a year. I still enjoyed it when I did it, I just weren't getting them in, but I knew I had to put effort in to do it. So back into 2017, my mum got ill, so I wanted something positive to do. I wanted to take my mind off it, so I thought, right, let's get my head back in this. Got enough balance in my life now to work it round, and that's basically what I
What
did.
was your comeback tune? Was it the I Need Your Love tune? The Ellie Goulding vocal?
No,
I remember
that
you
was
said
one
it
on
was
my own. Was that 2018?
I remember you coming
Well,
back
that's
and you did a couple of...
So end of 2018, beginning of middle 2018, I think I started like right. I did a mix with had new tunes on it. The first time I'd done new tunes since about 2000 and well, I don't know, years anyway. Put it that way. And then we got a Bad Behaviour gig. Me and Greedy went and did it in Newcastle.
Well, what made you bring Bad Behaviour back? Because like that just seemed to like just happen, and it was like, oh
yeah, because we got a gig in Newcastle, and I was like, right, we should start this again. And then I was like, right, let's do it. Everyone, it was USB season at the time. Everyone were doing USBs. I said we could do a USB. We've got enough tunes.
Yeah.
Like, we had like 200 tunes on tunes to do. So we did that, and then we're like, great, we need to start doing tunes again here. So we started. I think about September, October 2018.
What was the first tune back? Can you remember?
Taking My Time, and that was like the all Bad Behaviour, dinky kicking and stuff.
Right.
And then we did Moon Men, and then I think I bought a new PC actually at the same time. Doing it on my own. I was going to do it on my own, and I was trying to blag Greeny into it. So I think I did In the End first.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. Yeah, you did
In the end first. I think what it were. I think I heard an odd bass version. I think she had a CD on, and it had the vocals of In the End on it.
Luke Hudson's version, was it?
And it kicked in with Orbit. What's going on? Where's the riff?
Yeah.
In my, I thought, right, I'm gonna do a version of this.
You ripped off the
idea, and I ripped off the multi-dubbers.
Yeah, multi-dubbers
because that
track,
was one of my favourites. I used to play that all the time.
That's a botany tune, that.
Yeah,
like when I hear that, I think of you.
I used to
always.
play that still like at Sops at like 2012. I still used to play that. So. Yeah, and I thought, right, I want to do my own, so I got a PC in that tower down there, and started again.
Yeah.
I started again with Greeny, and then I think I did Darude, Feel My Beat after that. I think.
Yeah, that was a good tune.
And then I did a few just like they were all right. Let's just getting my feel back to doing it and get my head around the program again, because this is like riding a bike a bit, but still you still got to like remember bits, so your processes are doing stuff and all that.
Yeah.
Took me a while to get back into it, but
and then you did Kicking in the Beat for me as well, didn't you?
Kicking the Beat, and that went down pretty well. So
that done unreal, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Like it's mental how
it's like
continuously done well.
It's the beach ball, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of them. People know it, like I said before.
It is, yeah. What was I going to say? So you've come back now and you're doing a yearly USB now as well, aren't you? So
yeah, we haven't
like...
done one for 2021 because we got asked to do a lot of remixes last year. So obviously they're getting released and they're other people's tracks. Really, we've just remixed them for them. So we didn't really have the.
You were doing like a lot with cheeky tracks and
I've done a lot for cheeky tracks. We did one for Kenty for the This Is Bounce label, Such a Feel. Like saying that, we had our own tune actually we released on there. I've done a few remixes for Dave, and other people. I can't remember who's asked. Last year.
Like various ones.
Yeah, we've done various ones. So like our actual content to put on it is like less, and then as well we've said like let's release a few of these, so that's even less because obviously we want to get a bit of exclusiveness on it. But it should be here soon. The next one should be here soon. We've got Greeny's building a website at the minute, which isn't that far off now. So once we've got a new website going, pre-orders are coming, and then there's going to be loads of stuff on it because obviously we've got like 2 years worth of stuff to put on it now.
Fantastic. That's the end of section 1. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Back once again with part 2 of 2. This one is a bit of interaction from everyone who listens and watches. I just want to get into this, and this is the questions. We've had a few. We had a bit of random questions in last week, but these ones are actually pretty good. So this one is from Jamie. I haven't put a surname, sorry. What producers do you hold in high regard in the scene?
Fitzy and Ross.
Yeah.
Every tune they put out is brilliant, innit?
Yeah, they've been consistent for years
as
well.
They've got a formula that just works, doesn't it? So like they can't make a bad tune. We've got a group chat with him and they just like put a tune. It's like it's class all every time.
I talked about this with Daz on the last one, or the one before, sorry, and basically like, I think it's positive and good competition. So like some people can take it really negatively with like, oh, I'm dead jealous of them. But whereas I find it within our scene, 9 out of 10 people are like, oh, someone's put this tune out, I need to up my game, and then that's where you see people like it makes you a better producer hearing tunes from like.
I don't ever think like.
But it makes you feel like, oh, I need to step up. Keep you on your toes as such.
More producers now. I think Steve Willow's stuff's like really nice and clean, like, quality wise. Obviously Kenny's really good.
There is a lot you could name off. But
like a lot of tunes, people's tunes I play a lot. Obviously Fitzy and Ross's I play a lot. I like Orgies, obviously. Kenny, I like his a lot. It's hard to think off the top of my head. I'm not like, I don't like stuff like that. Or anything like that. As long as I like stuff that's well made. If it's not well made, it could be the best tune in the world. I instantly don't like it. I don't like it.
One for me that I want to mention is I did a course 2 weeks ago with Alf Bamford Technical, right? There isn't a producer. I know it's maybe reaching when you say it in the scene. He's in a hard dance scene, I suppose, but like he does a bit of bounce as well. And like his production level is completely above and beyond anyone I've ever seen. Like fuck me. Like I was watching him work away on this tune and I was just like, I think I better give up. like when you were saying,
I know what you mean. Listen to you think, bloody hell, that sounds crisp, doesn't it?
I know. It sounds mental. Like, well, not mental, but it sounds maybe it doesn't not sound negative. But say you sent me a tune and I'd be like, oh, I like that. I wonder how we done that. I think I've got the ability to sort of replicate it. Maybe not to use the same techniques as you, but replicate it. Like, this stuff that I was watching Alf do, that I was thinking there is no way I could even replicate, I know what you mean, manipulate a sound to make the sound he does. I was just like, this is fucking phenomenal. Like, I was like, that's one I definitely want to do a shout out of because like I was impressed. There's a lot of lads who it's all about being consistent for me. I think if you're going to be a good producer, like you say, you need to be out there a lot. Like you see some people. One person I want to mention is I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Sema?
Oh, it's in his name. I read it as Sema. I
don't know if that's his name, but like I always thought his stuff was really good. I hammered a lot of his stuff. Like
see, that's up at a time where I wasn't listening to Bounce. I think.
Yeah.
I think you're about. So I've never really.
But when I hear it, I'm just like, why isn't he doing more? Like, because like I highly rate him. I don't even know who he is, to be honest with you.
I don't have a clue, mate.
But when I hear the tunes, I'm just like, this is so good, and it just like he'll just drop a tune randomly once a year or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard very good things about him, but I've never.
That's just one of the names off the top of my head. Like,
I probably have heard his tunes.
Yeah.
I just don't know I've heard him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but like when I'm saying consistency is key, like
you have to
because he isn't so consistent. It's not one of these names that you or hold him in high regard.
It's like you're out of sight, you're out of mind. It's like when we've obviously stopped doing it, and you've got a whole different new crowd. You're not coming back to that same crowd. Like, oh, you've got a percentage of the thing. You know, it's like starting again. So you have to be.
There's like a 6 month turnaround on it as well. Like I was saying this. See if I go and play in Whitehaven, I know practically everyone because it's such a small place. You go out and then 6 months later it's a brand new crowd. There'll be like one or two faces that are there. But like when you're starting to trying to build a following, it's like you get this following. Like I've got people who used to come out sort of like 8 years ago or something like that, and they still listen to my stuff now. I still see the names pop up on SoundCloud saying that they're listening to it and stuff. Or they'll message me saying they still listen to it, but they don't go out to the events anymore. So like, but now it's always a new generation come through, sort of like roughly every 6 months. So like within 6 months, there's like a whole turnaround of like kids turning 18 and shit like that.
You have to keep
so
pumping
that's
stuff
why
out.
I say consistency is key. Like if you listen to people who's consistently like when you say who do you hold in high regard, you name drop Kenny there, and it's like Kenny comes to your head straight away because he produces so much. Like
and his stuff is well made.
Yeah, exactly.
You know you're not going to get quality out of it, don't you?
Yeah, there is some really good producers out there. One person who I'd like to mention as well. I always don't think he gets enough credit. I always like that DJ B.
From Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes good stuff as well.
And like some of the riffs he writes are absolutely
Yeah.
unbelievable. He sort of just goes under the radar a bit.
He's got his style, and I think he's not changing it for anyone, which
Yeah.
is fair play to anyone who's got it in it. It's maybe going under the radar because he don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But he does make good stuff as well. If he's up Newcastle way, Daniel Bell in it.
Yeah. And then I quite liked when Ash Mirrelson came back. I rate that lad.
The Redux stuff.
Yeah, the Redux,
really
yeah.
good because it's like he had a different style to him and that, didn't it?
Yeah. So moving on to the next question, we've got quick question for you guys. Dinky or BDC? BCD, sorry. Yeah, sorry, just walked over.
Oh, that's a fucking good one, isn't it?
It's a belter. Personally, I love the Dinky stuff. I have all the sort of. I think I've got the majority of the Dinky Records stuff. But for me, I if you listen to my music, it's heavily influenced by BCD.
Yeah,
so
see,
I think
we're
that's
the other way around. I'd say Dinky heavily influenced Bad a bit, but I've got elements of the BCD stuff in it.
Yeah.
I'd say the BCD stuff is probably like better quality, but then like donkey tunes.
I find Dinky's more underground in it. Like,
but
so if you hear like Head Check, it's more of an underground tune than
but then,
say
like, if you hear things like the Ultra Beat stuff on it, the one about any Discala bits on it, like the percussion and the kicks and the bass lines are right nice, aren't they? It's a tough one. That's a good question.
That's a belter.
I'd probably have to say
I haven't got a name for him. That's why I really need to get more organised with this. You know,
the Dinky's probably better tunes to like, but the BCD stuff were better quality tunes.
I prefer.
I'm going in the middle with that.
Yeah, I prefer BCD if I'm honest. That's my opinion on it.
It's a tough one that because
it's
like I look back and trying to think like
two big eras of music in it.
Get on the Floor and Brass Disc and stuff like that. They're all really big tunes, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then but then you've got like tunes like Head Check and Pussy Whip. Pussy Whip's that's probably not one of the bigger ones, but one of my favourite Dinkies.
Yeah.
To be fair. Good question.
That is a belter, isn't it? Like I was like, next, picture this: you have to go on a date with a man. Who you picking and why?
I don't know. I've never really thought about this.
You don't think like Roman Reigns or someone like that?
No, definitely not Roman Reigns.
Because I've pre-prepared this one.
I'd have to say The Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah, I'll go on the date with The Rock.
He'd look after you, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He might buy your house as well.
Yeah, he's like the coolest guy on the planet to me, so I'll say The Rock.
The Rock.
Go on then.
I've had time to think about this, obviously, getting sent you. I thought about this for so long. Do you know who I would go on a date with? Brian Cox. Do you know the guy who loves space?
I don't know him.
Oh, well, look him up. He goes on Joe Rogan's podcast quite a lot. But honestly, he's got a real soft spot for me, I think. I've got a soft spot for him, sorry, and I just think if I was going to go on a date, I'd like to go on a date. He could just tell me about fucking time travel and shit like that.
That space is quite cool, to be fair. But I'd say The Rock, because if anything, The Rock's in anything, I'm not watching that.
And you'd guarantee to be going to a good, like, sort of, you'd be getting first class everything, wouldn't you?
I'd hope so, anyway. Yeah.
Like, if he turned up at a restaurant, you know for a fact he's going to get the best sort of...
Yeah, I'd hope so, anyway. We had a cheap date, I hope.
Taking you to Mackey's. And this one is Subject of the Week, which we'll sort of tie things up with. A lad called Jamie Ward, he watches it every week. He got in touch and said about a subject, music tattoos. What do you think? So to give it a bit of context, Jamie's got on his leg, and he gets quite a lot of attention for it if he's out with, like, he's got a pair of shorts or something on. He's got a New Monkey tape from when he first listened to the New Monkey. It's got the title. I'll put a picture in the video now if you're watching.
So like things like a Bounce Heaven tattoo or something like that.
Think along the lines of, I know Farrell's got some like Stank tattoos or something like that.
I'm not really a big tattoo guy. I've got kids' names on me. That's about as far as it'll go. I'm not personally a fan, but I'm not a big fan of tattoos.
Right.
I've seen some that look a bit tacky for me, but some have meanings and stuff like that. Don't they? But I like the music ones. You know, they got music notes. They got maybe a pair of decks on their arms or whatever.
Yeah.
They maybe have. I like that sort of idea, but like getting a brand a logo on me would be a bit, not for me, but like something with a bit of meaning, or a song that has a bit of meaning, or like I seen the other month somebody got some MC lyric tattooed on themselves. That's just completely wrong and tacky.
Yeah.
That's not for me.
It's not like so easy and what or something like that. Is it? Like,
no, it's I am a raver.
Is it Finch's?
I am a raver.
Oh, is that easy?
No, it's Lukey P's, I think, innit?
Well, no, I'm a raver and a drug dealer. No.
No, it's I don't know. Whatever it is, it's.
But that's
nothing
insane,
against
though.
the lyric. Absolutely fine. The lyric's absolutely fine. Tattoo is a big no.
No. For me, I always thought it come across as quite. I wouldn't get that. But the more I think about it, the more I think you see. Rock fans with like Metallica tattoos, and you just think you don't think anything of it. You just think, oh,
because it's bouncy. You just think, it's not high.
But then there's people who's really passionate about about it. So
I think for me to get a tattoo on me, you have to mean something. Would
you not get bad there?
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I think like I don't want. I've always thought tattoos. I think to yourself when you're like 60, 70, you're old and wrinkly. So I'm nothing against people with tattoos. I'm not trying to dog tattoos. So for me, all I'd want something on me that were when I am a bit older. Like I might like this piece of music now, but in 50 years or whatever, 40 years, I might think, that's stupid. But it's on me now for the rest of my life. So anything that I get tattooed on me
needs to mean something.
It needs to mean something that I know is gonna be for the rest of my life. Like I've got me kids on me. And that's all I've got. Eventually, I'm going to get a tattoo for my mum. Like so, and then after that, I don't really have any ideas for one. I did think when Ollie were younger, really getting a sleeve and like getting things that meant something to him as time went on.
Yeah.
But like I didn't want Thomas the Tank Engine on. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
it's artistic,
so,
but
like it's on you for the rest of your life, innit? So for me, I've just been a bit wary of it, like getting something that's meaningful and that I'm going to be happy with in 20 years.
I plan on getting more tattoos, but I think everything. What I've got now, I've got a dad tattoo, and that's like on my back, and it's like that's sort of as a memorial thing.
Yeah, well, if it means something, it'll always mean something. There's no going back on it, is there? Like,
but I've got an R2D2 on my leg, so like.
See, I think when Ollie were into Marvel and stuff like that, I thought, I like Marvel, so I'll get that. I'll pass it off as it meaning something, but obviously I'd have had to start off with Thomas the Tank, and then it would have gone to Marvel Turtles, and now it would have been Fortnite, and now it's FIFA. So I don't really want all that on my arm, really. Even though it would have still meant something, it would always mean something because it would obviously him. But I just never.
One of my old mates, she had a thing for tattoos for a long time. She used to go for I'm sure it was like a regular tattoo, so sort of like once a month, and she started getting like sleeves on her legs. Is that what they're called on your legs?
Yeah, it's still called leg sleeve.
Leg sleeve, right? So it started off. She got
pants, really, shouldn't they?
She got a Quidditch ball on there, and then a Hogwarts logo. Then it just turned into a dedicated Harry Potter leg. Yeah. It looked cool as fuck. It's not something I'd get.
They do look cool, like they look smart as fuck. Tattoos.
And do you want to know something as well? One of the big things I always thought for her that it really helped her out. Not helped her out as such, because that sounds like really mean. What I'm going to say, but it was always a chat up line for the fellas when say we'd go out and we'd be at the bar getting a drink, and you guarantee some lad would come up and go, I like Harry Potter, blah blah blah. Now that was a way in.
Break the ice type thing.
And then later on down the line, on her other leg, she dedicated it to like Disney. So she started off with the balloons on her leg and all that stuff, and it was
it's a good idea.
It's good.
They do look smart. I just don't know how I would feel about it if I had it and I looked at it in 20 years' time. That's probably why I've not ever.
So music as a definitive answer, not on you. It doesn't need to be on yourself, but music tattoos, yes or no? Like, is it cool or is it?
Maybe. It depends.
Yeah. I'm going to say yeah. I think if it's meaningful to you,
It's like anything. You can get something that looks good, and you can get something that looks bad, can't you?
If I was going to get a logo, if I was going to get a logo on myself, it would have to be done well as well. Like
it'd have to be proper, yeah. So,
and
on the fence.
It needs to be a good logo as well. Like I've seen some logos and I think they look shit as brand logos, never mind as a tattoo. It's do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Some logos are obviously look smart on merchandise and stuff like that.
But it wouldn't look good on skin.
Yeah, that's it, innit?
So moving on from that, I just want to ask you now, sort of to wrap things up, what's your favourite bad tune?
I've had time to prepare for this as well.
I did ask you.
You did, and you know what? It's hard. I probably like most played. I probably played See the Light most.
Right.
Mainly just due to the reaction, the pulling the channel down for when people sing See the Light. It's just like that's what it's all about for me. Like when I'm
interaction,
interaction. I love that. That's probably my favourite thing to do.
So what would you say then?
I don't think it's our best tune though. I just think it's that reaction.
No, it doesn't even need to be like the.
That's
the
one of my
best
favourite
tune.
tunes to play, and I think I started a set with it. I've started a set with it this year.
So sort of like 10 years on, or 12 years on, 14 years more.
I started a set with it last year, so I still play it now. If it's a classics night, it will go in my thing because it gets that reaction, doesn't it? I think it's the best tune.
What's your personal favourite? Maybe one that you hold in memory with, or something like that. One that changed your life, or.
It's tough. It's tough though.
I'll give you fucking 4 days.
I know, you know what? I forgot to do that. I don't know.
We'll come back to that one.
Right,
what's your favourite Bonley tune that you've done?
You know what? There's been a couple because I've done them on my own.
Yeah.
I know it's just my own work, and I've probably been a bit more prouder of it because I've had no one helping me.
Yeah.
I did one last year actually with Shiv, to be fair. I liked the remix that we did for Pitch Invader. We had it all, and I like that. That's one of my favourite ones I've done. It's one I listen back to. I think I'm quite happy with that.
I'm proud of that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm proud of that. That's off recent times, but I say Temple of Dreams. Because even when I
people still reference that now, don't
they? I'll get people ask, we play Temple of Dreams tonight, and I sometimes forget. But I'd probably say that's my favourite one.
Right, and then from when you began, like when you moved here when you were 15, and you were in school and you were listening to it, starting out, all the whole bad behaviour thing, hand demos in a Sanctuary with Farrell, leaving the scene for a while, coming back. Is there one song that stuck through like everything, and you thought, that's for me, that's
my
like
favourite tune ever?
It's like it defines you as a DJ.
Oh, it defines me as the DJ. I've got my favourite tune ever. I know that. I can answer that. TH Express, I'm on your side.
There you go.
I could answer that.
Which mix?
Factory Team. Yeah,
okay.
Without doubt, that's my favourite tune of all time. But it's not balanced, is it? Really, is it?
It doesn't need to be. No,
I can't really say it defines me as a DJ because I can't really go out and play it. But like I said, we did the Don cover of it, and we actually got it resung by
Anna, wasn't it?
2 years ago now.
Yeah.
And so I've got it, so I can play it still today. So that's definitely, I can answer that one.
Yeah, excellent.
Don't even have to think about it.
And to finish off, I want to ask you, I used to do, if you would go to a Chinese, what meal would you get? But I've revamped it up a bit now. So if you were getting the electric chair for being bad, sorry for the pun, that was awful. If you're getting the electric chair and you were allowed to have one more meal, what would it be?
Oh, fucking hell. I told you earlier that I struggle to pick meals at a bloody restaurant. I don't know, it's going to sound really boring, this. I really like shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie with cheese, or cottage pie, should I say. It's not even, I don't know, it's like, I don't have it all the time, but when I do, I really fucking enjoy it. It's probably not my favourite meal either, but off the top of my head, it's like, oh yeah,
I love a shepherd's pie. I like getting bread with a shepherd's pie and dipping it into the thing.
Yeah, I make butties, mate.
But yeah, it's been a pleasure having you on. I've really enjoyed the conversation. It's good to have a crack with you as well, because we only cross paths in clubs really and stuff like that.
There's
so
not a lot of time to talk when the music blaring, is there?
Yeah. Is there anything you want to plug before we finish?
Just a USB.
So
should have a pre-orders. Maybe by the time this is actually airing, might actually get pre-orders, but it's very imminent. Pre-orders be coming. They'll have all the tracks from the last couple of years, plus any tracks you missed on the last two USBs. Plenty of mixes on there. Any live sets that we're allowed to release from that we've done have been recorded. Any promo mixes we've done. The Bad to the Futures 1, 2, at this time saying it's 7. We are thinking of doing an 8.
Yeah.
Hopefully get that done for the USB. So yeah, we jam packed with stuff. So yeah.
Where can people find you? Are you on SoundCloud? Have you
Yep, SoundCloud. I've got my own SoundCloud. We've got a bad SoundCloud. We've got a YouTube channel, which I've been putting all the old Ministry of Sound remixes on it in a minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook.
Fucking hell, you're plugging this.
We're on Spotify. Get
Yeah.
on Spotify as well. We've got loads of tunes on Spotify as well. What else are we on? I think that's it. Oh, we're on TikTok as well.
Have you got any gigs coming up?
Sopranos Fat Goose, which might...
It'll already be happened.
Yeah, that was a really good night, that. Brilliant night, top night. Thanks for the booking, cheese. 9th of July, bad. We were at Truth in Bolton.
Yeah.
We're doing a bad set. And I'm also at the new club in Burnley, Hidden Nightclub. I'm doing a back-to-back with Shiv for that one. That's 9th of July. And then the next one after that will be Sank Summer Special.
Excellent.
At Flamingos. So
Fantastic. Right, thanks for everyone for watching or listening, if you're listening. Remember, share this video with your mates if you enjoy it. It goes so far. I've got a certain reach. I'm sure like the guests have got a certain reach, but if the general public share it and enjoy it, then it reaches more ears, and we can grow as a podcast. We get bigger and better guests on, and we might have some really exciting news for you coming very soon. That's all I'm going to say for now. But yeah, share away. Thanks for listening. See you later.